AI adoption is being pushed across companies everywhere. It's being integrated into Microsoft products, Google Workspace, Salesforce, and many other tools. But something I saw firsthand at a former employer was this: leaders are learning it too, just like everyone else, not because they aren't capable, but because their responsibilities are so heavy and the technology is evolving so fast, they rarely get time to fully explore how to use it for their own work. In many cases, the feature existed, but adoption, change management, and compliance made it unclear how to incorporate it into strategic decision making. During my time on the AI automation and adoption pillar as a channel representative, I remember being asked a question by senior leadership that stayed with me. They said, pretend this was your own company. What would you build? Don't think about the current tools we have. Think outside the box. And then I realized that question wasn't about tools. It was about strategy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an AI agent to analyze business scenarios, compare options, and outline risk and opportunities to support executive decisions. So what we have here is a new chat. I'm using ChatGPT, but other platforms are kind of doing the same thing where you can use it for strategic decision making and create agents and things like that. So in ChatGPT, you want to go here, the little plus sign, then more, and then agent mode. So you don't want to use it in the normal chat, although you can use the normal chat to help you create like your prompts. Like if you're, so for example, I'm going to have put my prompt here because I'm going to assign it a role, so don't be intimidated on how great this prompt looks. You just, ChatGPT can help you build it once you start to ask it like, help me with this. This is what I want to do, and it'll help create it for you. So right here, this first prompt is going to be assigning the agent its role. You are my executive decision analyst for Acme Commercial Solutions, or insert your company here. Your role is to support executive leadership by independently conducting complete strategic decisions. So then right here it says you do not make decisions, because again, this is an executive leader would probably use an analyst or somebody to help put some of this material together, which could take hours or days. And, and then present them the information, and they make the information off of that data. So this kind of is helping with that. So the executive leaders can do this themselves with pretty much what I'm going to show you, a two-step prompt structure. So you have the responsibilities. So they're going to analyze business scenarios using the company's financial and operational context. And we'll see that in the second prompt. Estimating financial impact, ROI, playbook period, realistic assumptions. And then here we got the output section. So you want it to have an executive decision memo, comparison table, risk register, and then I'll just go down and find a 90-day execution plan, action plan. And then for this one, you're saying do not ask follow-up questions unless critical information is missing. The reason for that is so that when you put in the second prompt with the information, once you're ready to go, because it can take some time to run. I mean, this can take any 20 minutes, an hour. You want to be able to step away and not have to come back and forth. So the whole point is for the agent to do the job for you. That's the purpose of agent mode, to get this off your plate and go grab a cup of coffee or tea or something. Okay, and then so I'm going to send this over, or send it through, and then it's going to pretty much ask me for the information. So you can see right here, before I begin my analysis, could you please specify the strategic decision or scenario you'd like me to evaluate? This will allow me to tailor the analysis to your needs. I already have these ready, so I'm going to paste and just going to walk through this prompt a little bit. So it's already, so you have the company name, the annual revenue, how many sales representatives. So we're trying to make a decision on, do we want to invest in our sales reps to make them more efficient with AI or any tools. You can use this for any tool, not just AI, but just tools in general. Do we want to invest more in the current tools we have, or do we want to look for new tools? Is really the purpose of this exercise. And this is really based off of a scenario based off of like where I worked and what I had to do on this pillar. So you have, sorry, I'm scrolling up and down here, annual revenue. So then you have your current tools list, AI features that already exist, but adoption is uneven, which is definitely somebody coming from sales operations. That's one of the biggest things, is to get people to use their tools. And one of the things I learned with that is if you present it in the format of what's in it for me, that usually helps drive. That's one of the things that can help drive adoption. You got to help people relate it to them, not theoretically what it should do and how good it sounds, but actually what I would do is break down like real world applications and then use their feedback to, because who knows best than the people that actually do the job, take into account their real world applications and show them how they can do it there, and then it adds value. So they need to see what's in it for them. So you have a decision, what strategy to improve sales productivity using AI, the cost, risk. So you wanted to analyze risk. You have the cost of maybe like a new platform. So purchase dedicated sales platform. So this part of means option B is a new platform. Option A is the existing tools. And then option C is, I believe there's an option C here, build internal, like basically a new framework and what the cost is for that. You have the risk. So section, you have your productivity scenarios. So for it to analyze, if you had 3% productivity, 6, 10, expected revenue impact. And so all the way through that, leaders will go down and make decisions on. And then again, you can see here, just like telling it again to work independently, don't ask follow-up questions. Because again, the whole point is like if a executive went to a person to do it, they're not going to go to that executive asking 1,000 questions while they're in meetings. So that's the point of this. So I'm going to go ahead and send this through. And while we wait for it to actually generate the results, okay, so now we have the executive decision support package has been prepared and saved here. So now you got the results. So it gives you like an overview, executive summary, current spend only 25%. So pretty much it's summarizing what you put in your prompts. And then here's your decision memo with your objectives, your options analyzed. There's those 3 options there that I discussed earlier. Here's your context and assumptions. Here's your comparison table. So like option A, the driving existing tools. Option B, purchase dedicated new tools. And C, building the existing framework for it. And then you have the adoption difficulty. Here are your expected benefits, risk level, your 3-year net benefit, and then your payback period, your financial impact and ROI, gives you a little bit of an interpretation there to help you decide. You have your risk register. Go down a little bit so I can move it over. So what do we have here? We have risk, likelihood, business impact, and then I want to see what we have at the end. Mitigation strategy. So over here you have your mitigation strategy. You got your opportunity analysis, compliance and governance checklist, your stress test results, stress test 2, your compliance delays, your innovation. This is the part pretending like if this was back to the beginning where I said I was asked, like if this was your company, like what would you want to build? Think outside the box. So this is doing that comparison there. So you got the new tools. So you got, again, the using existing tools, requiring new tools, scenarios, and then your 90-day execution plan. executive summary of findings for leadership, and then the conclusion here. So great. Now that we've done that, you can see how easy that was once you get your prompt going and the results. And the main thing here is this is how executives can use AI agents not to replace judgment, but to offload the analysis that supports it so that they can focus on making better strategic decisions. Thanks for watching.